Hello, hello. I have arrived. Yes. Hello, Alt. Hello, Sheps. Want to find a video of a mosh pit and overlay this music over. Let me know if you actually do that. I will send you the file. But yes. Hello, Sheps. So it is time for the schedule. So today we're going to be playing Conquer the Shadow World as per the schedule. Tomorrow, we are not going to be playing The Legend of Zelda, as per the schedule. Instead, we are going to be playing some more Super Mario Brothers, because we didn't... Oops. Go bumping into the things, doggy. My dog has joined us today. She's feeling a little bit antsy today. She didn't want to sit outside, or sit outside my room. We certainly don't have her sit outside, outside of this building, in weather like this. No, no, no. But yes. Anyway. So, no Legend of Zelda. Definitely no Legend of Zelda tomorrow. Probably none, yeah. I was going to say no Legend of Zelda today, but yes, also no Legend of Zelda tomorrow, probably. Unless we get through Super Mario Brothers pretty quickly, which could happen, I suppose. But yes. So, real quick, before we get started with Conquer the Shadow World, since some people were interested last day, but that's not quite accurate. I mean, that is accurate, but it's not, it's non-standard usage. Anyway, since people were interested yesterday, I'm going to do a quick demo of some of my, plugins and stuff that I use and how I use them, for my audio and whatnot. So yeah, so we're gonna basically just run through the, run down the list. And we will run down the list. I will sort of explain things in not great detail, because I didn't really have time to sort of compile the to come up with a real good explanation of everything that I use and what it's for. I also didn't take the time to I was going to link the tutorial that I initially followed, but I didn't take the time to look for that, unfortunately. So that will also have to stay for a later time. But yes, so let's do that real quick. Get the schedule out of the way. Here we go. But yes, so this is Equalizer APO. This is the program that I use to essentially house the plugins that we use. So we've got a demonstration here. Actually, yeah. We'll go in and we'll turn off all of the plugins. Whoop. Don't bump into my microphone, okay? Don't bump into my microphone. But yes. Actually, yeah, I should hold on. Yes, doggy. She's walking all over the place and she's bumping into my chair sometime. The chair that has the microphone in it, on it. Do I have a shock mount? Yes, I do. But I also have a reasonably large dog. So there's only so much a shock mount can do for me. Yeah. You're so needy today. But yeah, anyway, so, Equalizer APO. Here is a place where you can download it if you don't already have it. And the plugins that I use, Happy Dogs still exist in the future. I mean, they do exist. This dog is not from the future, because I am not in the future, keep in mind. Except, I guess, relative to people in, other time zones, perhaps. And even then, only technically. But yes, this dog is from this time period. But yeah, no, they did not. There were no pets in the time machine. That was not allowed. Yeah, it was a very, very Spartan journey, I would say. But yeah, anyway, and here is Reaper, who with replugs. Yes, I use these for my sound, basically. But yes, anyway, don't want to spend too much time on this because we do want to conquer that there shadow world here. So, like I said, we will go over the basics. And so, I'm going to one by one turn off each and every one of the plugins, and you can begin to hear the difference. But yeah, big difference now. So, I think we'll basically just, I guess, start from the top and work our way down. But yes, please teach you, that's what I'm here for. And yeah, like I said, I'll probably do a more in-depth, I'll do a more in-depth look into this at some point in the future. I've got to resize this a little bit. But yeah, do a little bit more in-depth tutorial, I guess. But yeah, so one thing with Equalizer APO, you've got to install it for specific devices. And, I already have it installed for my devices because I've been using it on them. But you will have to do that when you get it ready. So yes, so first thing that we use is the downward expander, re.js. It is specifically this is a function of re.js, sort of a program that is part of re.js. And let's see, you can't actually see this window, but let's see, can I, let's see. And yeah, so as you can tell, without the noise canceling stuff, you can hear my mouse, you can hear my microphone, you can probably hear my fan. I can't tell if you can hear my fan actually, because it's, I don't have my audio up, I don't have my monitor up quite that high. Here we go. So yes, so this is the window. You do not hear my fan? Alright, good. That's nice at least. So, with re.js, you can open that up and find this. And what you'll look for is go down to Stillwell. I don't know if it's supposed to be pronounced Stillwell or something like that, or S Stillwell, but yes. So we are using the downward expander, which should be, which one of these is it? Let's see. Is it just expander? It might just be expander. Yes, okay. So expander, downward expander, and it's a good thing that I made this new file to mess around with, because I'm realizing now that as I'm going to be, I might accidentally reinitialize some of these, and we don't want that necessarily. So yes, so the downward expander, basically, as I understand it, essentially just takes sound that is below a certain threshold and lowers it even further, basically, to eliminate background noise. So I will be honest. Some of these I'm not super familiar with. I'm like I said, I'm going to be honest. There we go. So yeah, I'd have to sort of brush up on them a little bit more to give you more detailed information. But yes, as you can see, I've also got sort of some notes put in. But yeah, so yeah, downward expander. It squashes noise below threshold. In this case, was it set to, I don't remember what I normally set it to. So I probably, again, could have used more time to prepare. But like I said, this takes sound that is below a certain threshold and makes it even quieter to make it easier to either just not notice or to eliminate through some other means. But yes, so Refer, this plugin is what I use mostly to eliminate fan noise. And this one's a little bit complicated to use, and it's one that doesn't quite work with Refer Vape Nation. But yeah, so this is one that doesn't work so well. Let's see, can I actually open this? Can Can I get this window? Does it exist? It may not. Hold on. Here we go. So yeah, so this is one where, I don't know. So this is another thing that I should probably try to figure out before I go into too much detail, because there's like, you know, there's a graphical user interface for this that doesn't like work for whatever reason in my Equalizer APO installation. Like a lot of the visible elements just sort of aren't visible. And I don't know why that is, because I've seen other tutorials and stuff and videos with people using these plugins in Equalizer APO, and things that are not visible on mine are visible on theirs. And, you know, I've installed it a couple of times, reinstalled it, and all that, and I've not been able to figure out any real solutions to it. So this is, again, something that I will go into more detail later, because it is currently sort of beyond my capabilities to really directly interact with. But basically, what this is used for is you can use it to sort of listen for background noise, and then take that background noise and eliminate it. But yeah, so by being in subtract mode here, we'll be right back. All right. And so yeah, I guess, yeah, I was going to, yeah, you know, if you want to get some more information on this, you can go back and watch the VOD. But yes, subtract. So all of the noise that's in these sort of frequencies here or that, like, you know, matches these sort of frequency patterns is removed, essentially. And like there's a way. What was it? Ah, yes. Okay. So the automatically build noise profile setting, you can use that to create, like it says, a noise profile for the sort of background noise that you want to eliminate. And, you know, you can do that. It's very hard to do that in Equalizer APO because you, like, can't see this graph moving. At least I don't think so. Hold on. Yeah, it doesn't seem to, yeah, it's definitely not doing anything. Let's see. Can I... No, it's definitely not working. I can hear the other people in the house now. So yes, so we just sort of won't worry about this one then. But yeah, I don't know if you hear it, but I definitely hear a difference with it on and versus off. But yes, so that one is a little bit more advanced, and one that I can't really interact with in a meaningful way at this exact moment in time. Next, though, let's see, yeah, put that back on. Now, put on the noise gate. So this is a more straightforward plugin. This basically just takes, you can set a decibel threshold, and until sound is being made that is above that threshold, it just won't come through. The mic won't pick it up. Or, you know, the mic will pick it up, but the plugin will stop it from being transmitted, essentially. And so then you've got things like the envelope, which, again, slightly more complicated, but you can think of it as like the pre-open. Actually, hold on. Oh, I don't know what pre-open is, come to think of it. But attack is like how long it takes to activate in milliseconds. Generally, it is measured. So if you have a very low attack, then actually, hold on, you can't see this window. Let's see. Here we go. And I should specify this is using the Regate plugin. Yeah, more preparation would be ideal, but we'll work with what we've got. So yes, so attack is how long it takes for the gate to fully open. Yeah, the lower the attack, the more abruptly it opens, and sort of same thing with release. the lower the release, the more abruptly it cuts off, and once it stops detecting noise that is above that threshold. And so yes. So that is that. Next, I use a couple of different equalizers. Re-EQ is the plugin I use for those. So the first one that I use is, and I've got to remember that I've got to manually select the window. Here we go. The first one, as per the notes, is used as, actually I'll move this out of the way so you can see. So yes, so this one is used for high and low pass. So essentially, what the purpose of this particular equalizer is I've got at the sort of highest end and the lowest end, or this is the high end, this is the low end. At the highest end and at the lowest end, I've got we'll go over them one at a time. At the low end, we've got a high pass filter, which means that only sound that has a higher frequency than this gets through. And at the high end, we've got a low pass filter, which means that only sound that is below this frequency will pass through. And so what this does is it allows you to generally, you want to position this a little bit higher than, the highest range at which you speak and lower than the lowest range at which you speak. Basically, honestly, you want to position it, you can be a little bit more or less lenient with it depending on what sort of noise you're expecting. Backyard brownies? Nice. I hope you enjoy them. But yes, so, just to recap real quick, this is the equalizer plugin that we're using for high and low pass. So, the high pass at the low end of the spectrum means that it cuts off everything beneath this frequency, and the low pass at the high end of the frequency means that it cuts off anything that is above this frequency. And so the low frequency is 50 gigahertz, and the high frequency that I use is, let's see, that's 1700 gigahertz. And so yeah, so this is roughly the range of human hearing. So basically I use it to eliminate any sound that is being picked up that is above or below the range of human hearing, which, doesn't seem like the sort of thing that would be important, because, if you can't hear it, then why does it matter? Well, the reason that it matters is because even though you can't hear it, that doesn't mean that your speakers aren't still going to try to play it. And so by eliminating these very high and very low frequencies, you can get a bit clearer sound, basically, as I understand it. Because yeah, a lot of this is sort of a little bit theoretical and comes from tutorials that I've watched a year or so ago that I no longer remember all that clearly, to be totally honest with you. But I do have enough knowledge that I can say with reasonable confidence that, even though you may not be able to hear a certain frequency of sound, that doesn't mean that the microphone doesn't pick it up, and that doesn't mean that your speakers won't try to play it. And so basically, that is just a good, quick thing to eliminate if you can. And you can by using the high and low pass filters on an equalizer. And so yes, so continuing down the line, I have two different compressors here. I've also got a third multi-band compressor, but I was never able to get results out of that I liked, so we're not going to worry about it right now. Because if I don't know how to use it in a way that I'm satisfied with, I don't feel like I'm qualified to tell you how to use it. So, compressors compress. Whoops. Compressors compress. And so what that means is, for one thing, it means that I'm louder now. A lot of the time, people will use compressors basically just to sort of, reduce noise, essentially, or reduce not noise. Noise is a different concept in the world of, audio engineering. But they will use compressors to try and reduce the volume level. And you can use them for that. They work very well for that. but you can also use them to increase the volume level. They are compressors after all, not just reducers or anything like that. So yes, the plugin, the replug plugin that I use for compression is Recomp. And you should be able to see that here. Yes, so Recomp has a sort of similar interface to the noise gate, except essentially the threshold for this is a little bit different. It tries to compress anything that is above the threshold or sort of below the threshold and bring it closer to the threshold. So in this case, negative 10 decibels. So yes, so you can change the filter to make it, or you can change the ratio, because yeah, this whole thing is a filter. You can change the ratio to make it more or less aggressive. Yeah, if you turn it up like really high, then it will try very hard to make sure that all of the volume gets like gets squished into this this sort of towards this frequency very hard. And I don't remember what exactly the ratio represents. I think it's like the ratio is like however many to 1 here you can see. It's like it tries to yeah, I don't remember. Sorry about that. But yeah, so this is one that I usually keep yeah, the ratio generally don't want to be super high, because if it's too high it sounds a little bit harsh, as I recall. But yeah, I don't remember the exact sort of math behind the ratio, but yeah, I think like 3 to 5 is a pretty good ratio. I am a little bit more aggressive with my compressor because I tend to talk pretty quietly. But yes, and so again, attack and release are used to determine how aggressively the compressor compresses, with more attack meaning that it takes longer to warm up. So yeah, so in the case of the very high or the much higher attack, you can tell that it takes a little bit longer, or I don't know. I hope you can tell that it takes a little bit longer. Oh, actually, no, I need to apply it. So yes, at 500 milliseconds, you can tell that it takes a little bit longer if you listen closely and know what you're listening for. You can tell that it takes a little bit longer for it to sort of get my volume level in line with what we're expecting. Oops. And then yeah, with an attack of 0, then my voice is, or as soon as it, picks up any sound, it is like, immediately as quick as it can be at this volume level. And so yeah, so one important thing to keep in mind is that, your microphone, you can try to tweak it all you want to get it to pick up your voice and all that specifically, but understand that, any of the sound that's going into your microphone is sound. Sound is sound. The microphone doesn't know the difference between a person talking and us, like I don't know, I was going to say a fire extinguisher going off, but I guess that's not something that's super common. I meant to say a fire alarm going off. But yes. So, it will do whatever it does to everything, which is why it can be hard to sort of completely eliminate background noise. You generally need to have specialized software or a fairly comprehensive understanding of, audio engineering to accomplish that. But yes, let's see. But yeah, so the reason I use 2 compressors, and in theory might use 3 compressors, again, I don't use the multi-band compressor because I haven't been able to fiddle with it to make it satisfactory. But yeah, the reason that I use 2 compressors is because that way I can use each of them at a bit of a little bit softer to sort of make the transition from make the compression effect a little bit softer, essentially. So it doesn't sort of all kick in at once. It sort of steps up in the processing, essentially. And so yes, so the final plugin that I use is another equalizer. And so this is where you get the bulk of the audio, sort of the enhancement, sort of, is where you get a lot of the better tone out of my voice and whatnot. But yeah, you can tell this is probably like, you know, I could go and turn off the compressor while still having this equalizer on. And the main difference that you can see is my voice is just a little bit quieter. Whereas if I have the equalizer on, but I don't, or if I have the compressors on, but I don't have the equalizer on, then, you know, my voice sounds much, much different. Much, much different. Yes, so what the equalizer is used for is, I use it to sort of pick and choose different sort of frequencies of sound that I want to enhance, or I guess that I want to increase the volume of, and ones that I want to decrease the volume of. So this plugin is Re-EQ, and it looks this graph looks a little bit more complicated than the one that we used for just high pass and low pass before. And this is one that's going to be a lot more sort of subjective, because, you know, obviously different people have different pitches of voices. So for me, I I have a voice that's a little bit further on the low end of things. So I use this to sort of essentially a curve like this, you know, with sort of a slight increase to your lower frequencies, a increase to your middle frequencies, and an increase to your high frequencies, with some decreases at the very high end to reduce sort of the actually, I can turn these off selectively, can't I? There we go. So yeah, the highest cutoff here, if I remember correctly, is mostly used to sort of reduce the sort of hissy sounds that are produced when you make sort of sibilant sounds like S's and whatnot. Your S. But yes. 4 and 3. I'm trying to remember what these are for. There we go. But yeah. You can feel the difference. You can feel the difference. I can't think of a way to articulate the difference. But hopefully by, you know, turning these on and off, you can sort of get an idea of what these do for you. Yeah, having them on sort of eliminating certain frequencies can help to improve the tone of your voice, essentially, sort of to make it sound a little bit clearer, a little bit more, a little bit clearer, essentially. Because when you talk, your voice produces a lot of frequencies or a wide range of frequencies, but only some of those frequencies generally produce, not all of those frequencies convey information that's super useful. So yeah, as you can turn these off once again, you know, I sound a lot different. I don't sound quite as, or I sound a lot more clear with them on, or at least I feel like I do. Yeah, with them on, I have sort of a more even tone, I would say. Sort of or I guess like, you know, you get, it sounds more neutral, if I had to come up with a word to explain it. But with them on, I have a lot more clarity to my voice. I have a lot more, the highs and lows are emphasized a little bit more, you know. It's about emphasis, basically. Taking away the stuff that doesn't contribute to the sound of your voice and enhancing the stuff that does. And like, you can go and you can adjust things and down, however you like them. This is pretty bad, I think, actually, now, but a little experiment. And you can, whoops, there we go. Slide them back and forth. Give yourself sort of yeah, this is the sort of thing that, as I was getting at, you have different people have different pitches of voices, and so the equalizer portion is one where you're going to have to experiment a whole lot in order to get something that, works for you. But yeah, so I sort of increase my mid-ranges a little bit more for increased clarity. I bump up my lower ranges just a little bit, and for put a little bump in the higher ranges as well. But this is sort of the bulk of things for me. Yeah, asking a lot, but I'd love your assistance with this if you ever have free time. Sure thing. But yeah, I'll let you know when I have a chance. Actually, I should have some time after the stream if you wanna talk over this. But yes. Anyway, where was I? But yeah, so this is the sort of thing where you're going to have to experiment a whole lot, because if you've got a higher pitched voice, then essentially it'll look like this, but probably shifted to the right, because towards the right, higher end of the frequency range. And you can see if I put this here, even if I bump things up a lot here, then you can't really tell a difference, or you can't tell that much of a difference, because my voice just simply isn't high enough that this increases anything. Whereas if I do this, and I don't know how pleasant this is to listen to, so I'm not going to have it on for too long. If I bump up my low ranges, yeah, I'll turn that off. Sorry about that. But yeah, if I turn ranges, whoops. All right, I've got to remember, it stops the sound while I'm adjusting things. But yeah, if I turn up my low ranges, then you can really tell a difference, because I have a bit of a lower pitched voice. So again, this is the sort of thing that you'll have to experiment with a lot in order to find something that works for your specific voice and sort of what you want to do with it. But as again, sort of a basics, you want to increase your lower end of your voice a little bit. You want to increase the mid ranges of your voice a little bit more, and then you want to, let's see, was it here? Yeah, it was roughly here, and not quite as wide. And you want to increase the higher ranges of your voice a little bit, because without these, this tone is still pretty good. It still sounds pretty decent. So yeah, a lot of it again is just in the subtraction, what you take away, just removing unnecessary sound from your voice. Because again, not all of it is important to the conveying information vocally, basically, is the best way I can think to put it. But yeah, I think the easiest way to think about it is you increase things to improve the quality of your voice, and you decrease things to increase the clarity of your voice. Yeah, and again, I'll come back to this at some other point with a more in-depth look at it once I've sort of reviewed some of the facts. And maybe I'll even have learned how to use the multiband compressor. But yes, anyway, let's wrap that up. And real quick, I'm going to go and turn on my usual audio options and not the ones that we had just now. Alright, so the difference shouldn't be huge, but since I fiddled with everything a little bit here, this should sound a little bit different, and it should sound a little bit better than the sort of random settings that I put on for demonstration purposes. Alright, so it is time for Conquer the Shadow World. Let's see. It probably would have speaking of preparation, it probably would have been a good idea for me to get the game ready ahead of time, but, you know, what can you do other than get the game ready ahead of time? Here we are. Oh, video game? There we go. Oh, what's this? Why is this not working? Nope, don't do that. Oh, okay, I think we're good. We don't have... I don't have audio. Huh. There's audio coming through on... that's weird. Because it seems that it looks like I have audio on the stream, but I can't hear the game. So, clearly there's some sort of issue going on here. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Not sure what was up with that. I don't know, maybe I played with my audio settings a bit too much and my computer got a little bit angry at me. But yeah, we are back to normal audio, correct? Like, I sound fine and the game sounds fine. Nothing sounds particularly unusual compared to what we typically experience. Everything's good? Good. Alright. Oh, nope. Ooh, that was a narrow escape there. Alright. Good first boss. And alright. So this is close to Wiggles. Wiggles is our next foe. Oh yeah, I didn't have the or rather I didn't take the time, I suppose. Game's not on screen? Oh. Why do you do this to me, game? Hmm. Hold on. Whoops. Alright, so this should be better. Alright, we don't have motion. I'd rather not have to manually refresh to get a new frame every time there's a new frame. So, if you could work game, I'd really appreciate that. Whoops. Let's see, can we... Ah, there we go. This is a room that has motion in it. Oh. Hey, I think we're good. Nope. Alright. So yeah, it seems like, for whatever reason, when I've got the preview window open, it moves around. But as soon as I close the preview window, it is window capture, yes. Because full screen capture, or yeah, game capture doesn't work for this game. But maybe I should try it real quick. Does it have to be? In my experience, yes. But I guess we can try it again. Because this clearly isn't working. Conquer the Shadow World. Alright, so we've got it. Alright, this doesn't seem to have worked in any way. May need to use a hotkey? I don't think so. Because I don't use a hotkey for any other capture by hotkey function. There is. I've never used that for any other screen, though. For any other game at any point. And, Yeah, I don't have it set to capture by hotkey currently. Hmm. This is very strange. Hold on. Let's go out of the scene and go back into it, maybe? See if that fixes things any? I also closed the game. See if restarting it would benefit us. It seems like not. Hmm. This is very strange. Hmm. Oh, nope. Now it's gone entirely again. This is extraordinarily odd. Um, Hopefully I don't have to, like, restart the stream or something. Oh, hold on. We're not playing Super Mario Brothers. We're not playing Conquer the Shadow World either, broadly speaking. But we're definitely not playing Super Mario Brothers. Because, yeah, the thing, it works as long as I've got the preview window open. So, I don't know what that means. But yeah, as soon as I close it, the game goes away. Hmm. Alright, so we're going to close the game again. Okay, what has changed? What has changed? I think, um, the only thing that's different today is that I use those two, window captures to capture, which were different window captures, not the same window capture that I used for this game. But yeah, I used two window captures to capture the, you know, Equalizer APO window. So, unless that has something to do with it, but that seems weird. That doesn't seem right. That, in theory, shouldn't have anything to do with this. But, if it's not working, then clearly something's up. So, let's try this again. Maybe. Now it's not showing up even when I have the preview window on. Oh, here it is. All right. And will it? No, it will not stay. Well, this is what you might call weird. Hmm. All right. I seem to have broken OBS in some way. Hmm. All right. Well, all right. This is not extraordinarily onerous. So I guess maybe we'll just play with the. Is it difficult to run your with your setup to run full screen? It is full screen. The game is full screen right now. Like, it is full screen. Like, on my screen, it is full screen. Like, I run almost all of my games full screen. The only games that, like, why are you bumping into things, dog? Are you looking for attention? But yeah, it is not difficult with my setup to run full screen, in short. But yeah, the only games that don't work with just, like, full screen game capture are, like, Destiny 2 and this game. And, you know, games that just don't have full screen as an option, of which I've played a couple. But this game looks like it's in full screen. It should be in full screen by any reasonable metric. And yeah, Destiny 2, for whatever reason, it doesn't work when it's in full screen, but it does work in windowed. So, yeah, I'm not sure what's going on now, and I'm not sure why it's suddenly not working unless I have the preview window up. So we're just not going to worry about it, I think. I think we're just going to have the preview window open while I play, because that's not a huge deal. Like, I can still play and stuff, and you guys can see the game. So, because yeah, I've got like 2 monitors, so this isn't any sort of concern to me. Yeah, this is something that I'll have to look into as well once I'm done here. Yeah, very strange. But if we can get it to work, then it works. If it works in a bit of a weird way today, then at least it's working at all. But yeah, anyway, I feel like I didn't get the chance to ask, but how's everybody doing today? I sort of launched immediately into things, huh? I was just excited to talk about audio engineering, I guess. And then once we got done with the audio engineering, I was excited to play the video game. Oh, there we go. Sticking to the lower end of the screen today, huh? Ah, there we go. Their downfall came when they decided to jump up one step above where they were. Alright. Time for Ace once again. Ace, I feel like, isn't necessarily the boss that I most consistently struggle with, but he's definitely the boss that I'm most consistently afraid of. Yeah. Constantly getting Azure, yes, from playing D&D, has been having to cancel sessions. Gotcha. That was perhaps one of the least coherent sentences that I've ever produced on stream, but I suppose you get the point. Whoops. Oh dear. Gave you a tough one? Yeah, just a little bit. Oh, alright. So, platforming. We've been platforming all week, and this is no different. We just need to focus a little bit, and we can achieve our goals. I could probably have hit Chandler twice there, if I had really gone for it. I'm not sure if I'm so bold as to actually do that, but in theory I could. In theory I could. Alright. Yeah, I need another group. Want to roleplay? A more and I crave it. Yeah. Yeah, I know one of the groups I've been playing or for, I guess, have been is not quite accurate anymore. I was for a while playing D&D over text with some friends of mine. And we just sort of, that sort of lost its momentum not too long ago. So we haven't played a whole lot since then. I have still been playing, with some other friends in a separate game. Yeah, I did kind of forget that Ferris. I forgot that Ferris's spokes could harm you. There we go. Let's take a sip real quick. This doesn't feel like we've been playing the game for very long. I guess because, you know... Sip. It doesn't feel like we've been playing the game very long because we haven't, in absolute terms. Because we, you know, first started out with a tutorial, and then we jumped into technical difficulties. Still can't remember this guy's name. It was... Paolo? Paolo, I think, maybe? Something like that, I think. But yeah, I did, in my practice, in my own time, I did actually confirm. I remember one time we were fighting Paolo, and, like, I landed on the boss in such a way that it seemed to me like instead of splitting into two smaller segments, the segment that we stepped on split into two larger segments. And I actually accidentally managed to replicate that behavior a couple of days ago. And I confirmed that, yeah, if you do step on the boss in a certain way, they can split into two larger segments. It seems to be like if two segments like that are bouncing around like overlap enough, if you step on the game will get kind of confused as to what size they should be, and so it'll just spawn them at a one size larger than they should be instead of stepping down a size. Because yeah, I think it was like the second biggest size, and then I stepped on them and they turned into two full-sized Paolos. Assuming that I'm remembering the name properly, of course. Yeah, split into two full-sized Paolos. And that was very obvious, because usually you don't see more than one full-sized. So I knew for sure that that was not correct. Whereas the first time I noted that glitch, it wasn't immediately obvious because, you know, they were still smaller than the boss had been, even though they, yeah, it wasn't immediately obvious to me where those two smaller bosses had split from, essentially. Whether there had just been like a big one that I missed that split into two smaller ones, or if, as it truly was and appeared to be, I had jumped on a smaller one and it had split into larger ones. But yeah, I did actually, I happened the other day, I was looking for, like, art of this game that I could use for thumbnails. I was looking to see if there was, like, any official art or, like, a press kit or something out there. You know, this is a free indie game, so probably there wouldn't be a press kit per se. But, you know, looking for official, like, art and whatnot I could use for thumbnails for the videos, the VODs. And I did actually happen upon the blog. Seems like a game made for a jam. It was, actually. It was made for a Ludum Dare at one point. I don't remember which one. If I'm remembering correctly. Because, yeah, I found the blog. I found a blog detailing the developer's development process. Oops. Yeah, Wiggles can, generally doesn't, but Wiggles can shoot immediately after breaking invincibility, so you've got to be careful of that. But yeah, we're not in a great position health-wise, but on our, like, we're doing pretty good for a relatively early attempt into the stream. It's almost as though practicing is useful. Yeah, didn't quite judge that properly. Oops. Alright. But yeah, so among other things, I did learn that that some of the bosses do actually have official names, and we've just passed away, sadly. But yeah, some of the bosses do have official names, like the heart and spade and diamond and club-shaped enemies appear to be called Shans or Shans. I'm not sure. It's like S-H-A-N, like Heart Shan, Heart Diamond Shan, stuff like that. I don't know if I've released it. It seemed like it. There was like a pattern like that for those bosses. Oops. I don't know if I was able to find official names for any of the other bosses. I'll have to dig up that blog again so that we can discuss it. Yeah, favorite Toho girl got a difficult 2D platformer game. Is that a reference to something that I have said, or is that a realization that you have just come to? Just had to interject. Ah. Gotcha. So yeah, who might that be? And what game might that be, I guess? Wanted the whole world to know? Fair enough. I mean, hey, we are evidently into Toho and difficult platformers around these parts, so I'm very much interested in knowing. Oh. Ah, Raisin Udongen Inaba. Udongen X. Oh yeah, I think I've heard of that one. I believe I've seen some. Speaking of development, I think I saw some like screenshots of that in development. One at some point, or like some maybe not screenshots, but like I think concept art or something like that. Plays like Mega Man X. Yeah, that's roughly what I remember seeing. Yeah. But yeah, I didn't know that was out. I didn't know that that was an actual game and not just sort of a concept at this point. Or I didn't know that it was like in active development even, rather. But yes. Well, we might need to go check that out. You know, I've never played any of the Mega Man X games. I played a lot of Mega Man games, relatively speaking. I guess there's not all that many. There's a fair amount of Mega Man games. When I say not a lot of Mega Man games, I mean different, you know, the different series of Mega Man games. So like, you know, your Mega Man X, your original Mega Man, Battle Network, Legends, things like that. Like, I played Battle Network. I played the originals. Like the just Mega Mans. I played, I haven't played X, but I have played, ZX. Which I understand is related, timeline-wise. Well, they're all timeline-wise related. Timeline-wise related. They're all related to each other, taking part at, various points in the world's history. Or in the history of a single shared world. But, Mega Man X, or ZX, is specifically more related than your typical distinct Mega Man franchise is from another distinct Mega Man franchise. As I understand it. Yeah, creator of Mega Man wants to make a standalone game that took place in the Mega Man universe starring the character we know as Zero. Capcom Execs said it needed to be a Mega Man game, and Zero was sequestered as a side character for 3 games. Yeah, Mega Man. Yeah, that was the Mega Man Zero games, I think. But yeah, so specifically what I was talking about was the ZX games, the Mega Man ZX games that were on the DS, which were the first Mega Man games that I played, incidentally. I should probably save my chat reading for when I'm doing slightly less involved platforming. But yes. Yeah, I played ZX. Did not know about those other than the darkest story in the Mega Man timeline. Yeah, something like, or it is the darkest story in the Mega Man timeline. Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about Mega Man lore, I will be honest. Mostly I just know I know the games that I've played, and even then only somewhat faintly, because I haven't played any of them super extensively. I beat Mega Man 1, and that's the only Mega Man game that I've beaten. I played, let's see. I played the two that were released for the Wii. I don't remember the numbers of them. I want to say that they were like 9 and 10, or they might have been 10 and 11, or no, they weren't 10 and 11. They were either 8 and 9 or 9 and 10. I don't remember which. I played both of those, and I haven't beaten either of them. I played 2 Mega Man Battle Network games and not beaten either of them. And I beaten Mega Man 1, and I played Mega Man ZX and not beaten it. Whoops. Just missed it. Alright, I'll look over at chat in just a second here. Once we are free from Ferris. Oh, not quite. Yeah, if I understand correctly, the Maverick virus was unstoppable, and the only remaining species on Earth were Reploids and robots. Something like that. Or I think, yeah, it's definitely, the world got messed up pretty bad following the Mega Man X franchise and the events thereof. But I don't remember the exact extent of it. Sip. I think they're still humans. I think they're still humans as of, at the very least, as of ZX. Because yeah, I think that's a fairly significant plot point. I think that humans and Reploids sort of live together in ZX. I think it's Legends actually, where there aren't any humans still on the planet, if I remember correctly. Because yeah, I'm pretty sure that there are humans in ZX. That was it? Okay. I'm glad that that was persuasive to you, because I'm still not entirely sure myself. But yeah, I think that was the sort of situation as of ZX. And again, it hasn't been that long, I guess, since I played ZX, because I did get the Zero ZX collection. And I have played a little bit of ZX from getting that. I should play ZX on stream some point. Oops. Alright, let's not get hit. Yes. Hello again, all. We're talking about Mega Man now. But yeah, one fun thing that I remember about the... Megan? Yes, of course. The like, sort of transformation that you do in Mega Man ZX, both of the games, is like it's called the, like, Mega System in the English version, which is like, I don't remember what the Mega System stands for, but in the Japanese version, it's called the transformation mechanic is called Rock On, which is very fun. It's like meta encapsulated something or other, I think, is what the Mega System stands for. And I absolutely have no idea what Rock On is an abbreviation of. But honestly, it doesn't need to be an abbreviation of anything, because it just sounds cool. Oh yeah, I've also played one of the what's it called? Star Force games. One of the Mega Man Star Force games. I've got the first one. But yeah, I do have the first Legacy Collection. I do have the first Legacy Collection and the Zero ZX Legacy Collection. Yeah, only ever played the Zero Collection? Yeah, I do have that. Or the Zero ZX Collection. I've got a lot of Mega Man games. I feel like Mega Man is probably the franchise that I have the lowest ratio of games that I have played in the franchise to games of the franchise that I own. Because I've got like a lot of Mega Man games, and I've only ever played like 5 or 6 maybe. But yeah, Mega Man ZX was one of my favorite games when I got my DS when I first arrived in this time period. All right, there you go. All right, we've got a good life total. Good life total. With only one more boss to beat. The boss is Steve, Diamond Shan. Any console generations you want to visit for older games? Not specifically. You know, I was sort of feeling NES, which is why we're playing all the NES games. We're playing Super Mario Brothers now, and we're going to be playing a couple others in the near future. Love that jump a little bit. It feels like whenever I hesitate on that front, I always lose a life. But yeah, so I don't know, I guess sort of the generation, I don't know if there's any specific generation that I have a particular interest in. I've got, I don't know. Because yeah, not really any specific generations, I guess. Or not a specific generation. Yeah, Mega Man X is worth it. It was the game that really changed Capcom's design philosophy when it comes to games and platformers. Yeah, because I've never played any of the X games. That's it. I do understand that they're quite good. But yeah, so I guess sort of yeah. To put it simply, I don't have like a console generation, a single console generation that I feel like I have a really strong attachment to. But I do have a sort of strong attachment to everything between like the DS and the Wii U, essentially. Including those two, of course. Because yeah, the Wii U remains my favorite handheld console. Or not my handheld console, sorry. My favorite home console. The 3DS is my favorite handheld. Alright. Another good title for the stream would have been It's All Greek to Me. First played Monster Hunter on Wii U. Man, I first played Monster Hunter on 3DS, and that was a rough experience, let me tell you. Like the original 3DS, I should specify, because like the new 3DS and stuff, the games that came out for the new 3DS let you like use the like little control nub to move the camera. I had to use the like the original 3DS. I had to use like the touch screen if I wanted any sort of camera control while I was moving. So that was rough. Yeah, played it on Wii U and tried playing it in the next one on 3DS. The nub was okay, but not great. It was, yeah, the nub was not spectacular, but it was a huge improvement over no nub whatsoever, let me tell you. Huge improvement, huge improvement. Okay, so that... Oh, right. We've seen this attack before. Alright, where are you going to next? Right there. No worries. Alright, this... We might actually finish this off a little bit quicker than I was expecting. Then it's anime time? Maybe. Maybe. Assuming that the boss doesn't have a secret second phase that we're not aware of. Alright. So... Alright, we're not done yet, it seems like. The boss's hit points have been expended. But... they're not done yet. They've still got some fight left in them. This is not a safe place to be, probably. Alright. So let's be a little bit more careful, considering that we will die immediately the next time we get hit. Oh! Hold on, did we do it? Alright, we might have just conquered the Shadow World, but don't quote me on that just yet. Did we do it? We did it, I think. There we go. Alright. Credits. Ah, they do have names. Roski. Thermos. Pachi Pachi Pachi. Thank you. Extra Battery. That's not a name that I would have thought of them for this guy, but Singer. Planning to watch anime with Chaps. Might just join you. NATO. Yeah. It'd be really funny if we had, like, at least one name that, Bull Breach. Yeah, if we had at least one name that overlapped with the official names of these bosses. Centrum. Heart Shan, Diamond Shan, Spade Shan, and Club Shan. Yes, it was roughly as I recalled. Missing Shan. Alright. And you! It's me! It's me, everybody. Very nice. Your name is you? Your name is you also. You conquered the Shadow World. Yeah, we did. Alright. And this is what practice does for you. Alright, alright. Whoops. Ah. Record. So it keeps track of the time. Interesting, interesting. I kind of want to challenge myself now, but I think we'll refrain for right now. Whoop. Don't do that. What is this here? Yeah, why is it capturing this window now? That's strange. Anyway, so, alright, we've conquered the Shadow World. So yeah, that was a hard-fought victory. Didn't take quite as long as I was expecting. But, that was very nice. Alright. Yeah, I was not expecting it to be this brief, to be honest. Oops. There we go. I don't know, I think I'll stick around and chat for a little bit longer, and then I will, wrap things up. Yeah, a bit of a short stream today, it would seem. Yeah. How much time you got until you gotta sleep? A fair amount. I've got a couple hours at this point, or like 2 hours roughly. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, conquer the Shadow World, everybody. It is defeated. It is conquered. And we finally have names for the various bosses. Or at least we have official names. Yeah, absolutely none of them. Absolutely none of them had anything to do with any of the names that we gave them. But, you know, it is what it is. It was still pretty fun naming them. But yeah, I don't know, we'll take this opportunity to sort of reflect and look forward a little bit. But yeah, I always like to take the opportunity to sort of think on things once we've beaten the game. But yeah, my thoughts on Conquer the Shadow World. A lot of fun. Definitely, it's a game that I've sort of been historically a bit intimidated by, I feel like. Something that, yeah, it's a game that for a long time was very challenging to me because I was very bad at platformers in former years. From having played them a lot since starting the stream, I've gotten a lot better at them. So they're not anywhere near as intimidating now. Yeah, it makes me wonder. There's a lot of games that I sort of played but really didn't appreciate, you know, in the past for one reason or another. There are a lot of games that I feel like I would like the opportunity to revisit, to, I guess, sort of getting back to the topic of, you know, revisiting console generations. Just, you know, again, not specific generations. Yeah, a lot of games out there that either I gave up on because they were too hard for me, or that I just sort of, I don't know, maybe just didn't really have the right frame of mind to appreciate when I was in the past. Because yeah, I remember like I don't know. I tended to, I used to not be quite so good at sticking with games. I don't know, I'm still not all that great at it. I stick with games for streams, but playing games casually, I tend to sort of pick up and discard them. Not very good at long games. I mean, for me, it's not even a matter of long games. Basically, I play a game once, and then either I play a game once and like one out of like every 50 games, I decide, okay, this game is very good. And because it is so very good, I'm going to play this game non-stop until I beat it. And then I do that. And every now and then, or for like the rest of the 49 out of 50 times, then I play the game once and I think, that was fun. And then I don't play it again. I don't play it again until maybe next year when I look back and I think, this game was pretty fun. I don't know why I never finished it. Yeah, easier to finish long games that I didn't stream. It's the opposite for me, really. Because, yeah, for me, my sort of goal with games on stream is to finish them. I play games on stream to finish them. And, you know, to have fun and to entertain people as well. But yeah, I use streaming as sort of an excuse to finish games, collablations. Yeah. But yeah, a not insignificant part of the reason I decided to start streaming was to give myself an excuse to beat games, essentially. To sit down with a game and commit to playing it until I beat it. Because I have difficulty sort of giving myself intrinsic motivation. So I sort of had to come up with an extrinsic motivation to sort of dig into games and appreciate them. Because it's very hard for me to just sort of enjoy something if I'm just sort of enjoying it on my own time just for fun. I bring up this example a lot, but like some people sort of talk about how they used to like reading until they had to start reading certain books and like doing reports on them and stuff for school. Whereas for me, I I don't enjoy reading very much unless I'm doing a report on the book, basically. Because if I'm just reading for the sake of reading, then I'll just sort of like look at the pages and process the information and immediately discard it as useless. Not with any sort of intent. Need to do more reading. Haven't read any mangas or books in a while. Yeah. Like audiobooks. I mean, I would say that counts. It is literature. It is not reading in the strict sense, but the point isn't to read. The point is the information that you're getting from the book, from the story, Because if it was just about reading, then you could just like look at letters on a page and that would be engaging and admirable. But it's not about just letters. It's not about words. It's about the story. And whatever medium you're getting the story through is, to my mind, valid. Because yeah, it's about the story. It's not about the medium the story is conveyed through. But yeah. Anyway, so when I play games casually, without any sort of like specific goal in mind, then I tend to lose focus very easily because I don't have a specific thing that I'm aiming for. I don't have a specific goal in mind. Like it's funny to think about it this way, but like, when I play games on stream, I play them for the enjoyment of others and for my own enjoyment. Whereas when I play things casually, I tend to play games just for the sake of playing the game. And like the playing the game to play the game and playing the game to enjoy the game are sort of two different things a little bit. But yeah, so when I'm playing games casually, I usually don't think about things in terms of, I should do what would be the most fun thing to do, what would be the most engaging thing to do, what would be the most exciting thing to do. I just sort of pick it up and I play it in whatever, like just sort of on impulse. Whatever comes to me is how I play it, and I continue to play it that way until I get tired of it. But streaming has helped me to play games in a way that is, I have in mind the goal of make this engaging. So I play games in a way I try to challenge myself a little bit more. I try to focus on the game, to sort of understand it, so that I can talk about it, and so that I can play it efficiently and in a way that's not frustrating or overly time consuming. I try to pay attention to things like pacing and, get a good mix of story and gameplay in the game. And again, like, one of my goals as a streamer is to enjoy the streams that I'm doing. So I go out of my way to play the games in a way that is fun. Whereas again, when I'm playing casually, I don't go out of my way to play the game in any way at all. Which often means that I end up playing games in a way that's not necessarily fun. Maybe I play the game in a way that's too easy, or if I decide I want a challenge, just sort of on impulse one day, I start playing a game in a way that's too hard, and then I get frustrated and give up on it. Like, yeah. It's, and yeah. Like, I'm also sort of more recently trying to be a little bit more analytical with games as well. On stream, I try to take time to sort of discuss the game itself and think about the game itself to a certain extent. Sit. But yeah, and then there's, other things on top of it, like, interacting with chat is fun, doing voices is fun, and, those are things that just sort of, I can't really do when I'm playing casually. I mean, I could do voices, but, I don't know, it feels a bit weird to do the voices just to myself and not to anyone else. And, obviously, if I'm not streaming, then there's no chat. So that is not there. But yeah, in short, this is, again, a thing that I've talked about before, but, yeah, streaming is very enjoyable to me because it sort of forces me to think about games, to play them sort of mindfully. I guess mindfulness is sort of the big takeaway here. Because when I play games casually, when I do most things casually, I have a tendency to do things sort of mindlessly. I do them absent-mindedly. I play a game when I'm listening to a podcast and watching a video. I mean, that's an extreme example, which isn't true most of the time. But I will often, play a game while listening to music, or while listening to a podcast, or with a video playing in the background or something like that. And while none of these are things that are bad in and of themselves, switching back and forth between them makes it a lot more challenging to pay attention to any given one of them. Because, a lot of the time with a game, if it's a game that you have to, think about, then, you might play the game like the whatever other thing that I'm listening to or sort of watching will usually end up distracting me a little bit. And if it doesn't, then clearly I'm not paying enough attention to the thing that I'm listening to to really enjoy it. Because if I'm listening to if I'm paying attention to some guy in a podcast talk about what's a thing that people talk about in podcasts? Apples? There's probably at least one podcast that centers around apples, so let's just go with that. If I'm hearing someone talk about the prices of apples and the Apple industry because they're being interviewed or something, what a weird analogy. But if I'm listening to someone talk about the Apple industry in a podcast, then if you're free enough after stream, Steps and I were thinking of watching one of the 100-minute anime movies. If you wanted to join, maybe. Because I do have to. I do actually have to work on my VODs a little bit. Because I don't know. I guess I was going to say that I could work on them while I was watching the movie, but I was just talking about how I tend to divide my attention between different things that I'm doing, and how that sort of a lot of the time negatively impacts the viewing or listening or playing experience. So, but yeah, we'll see. I'll give it some thought. But let me gather my thoughts here. But yeah, in short, what is the point I'm trying to make? I guess I didn't really go into this with a specific point that I wanted to make. I just sort of went into it, and I figured I'd find out what the point I'm making is somewhere in the middle. Yeah, I guess, roughly speaking, the point is that, playing games on stream is, gives me an excuse to focus on the game and not have to focus on too much else. There's chat and all that, there's commentary and all that, but the chat and the commentary tie into the gameplay. I talk about the game. I see people react to the game. I explain the game as I play it. I explain my thought process as I play it. It all sort of feeds back into the game itself. And because of that, I have to be mindful of the game. And because I have to be mindful of the game, I, get the chance to enjoy it. As opposed to playing the game sort of distractedly or mindlessly and not, really engaging with it, not getting the sort of not understanding it and the plot of it and things like that. And there's a more succinct, more clear, more effective way to communicate this idea somehow, but I would need to think about it a little bit more to get all that much more out of it, beyond just sort of saying, thinking about game makes game more fun. At least to me. Because, yeah. It gives me the need to engage with the game to make the game engaging to watch makes the game more engaging to play. Whereas when I play casually, I tend to play absent-mindedly and distractedly and sort of intermittently doing this, playing the game for a little bit, going off doing something else, and getting back on the game, going and doing something else, all that. So I tend to sort of lose the thread a lot of the time. Yeah, I feel like this is simultaneously ground that I've covered a lot before, and ground that I could stand to stamp out a little bit more to get a more specific opinion on. But yeah, so in short, like, I keep saying in short as though I'm going to summarize my thoughts, but I don't know. We've been over this before. I don't have a specific thought to summarize at this point. But yes, so Conquer the Shadow World. We were going to talk about Conquer the Shadow World. It has been fun. It has been good to play this game, to sort of revisit this old game of that has been sort of on my mind for a good long while. Not you occupying a large portion of it, but just one that I've been aware of for a while, one that I found very challenging in the past, and, you know, still find it pretty challenging today. But, yeah, like, I was surprised by how much my skill has developed in this game over the time that we've been playing it. And, how relatively easy it was to get to the boss and beat them. After, like, you know, for a good long while, it felt like that was, you know, something that would never happen when I was, you know, a good number of years younger. It felt like it would never happen at one point. And, yeah, and now it happens after, like, you know, after spending, like, a good, like, half the stream at that point, just sort of, doing other things, that weren't related to the game at all, then finally getting into the game. But yeah. Let's see, I guess there's not all that much to say about Conquer the Shadow World. It's not super in-depth. There's not really a story to it. You could probably make up a story if you wanted to. Like, you know, why were you in the Shadow World? Who are you? Why do you want to conquer it? What is a Shan, anyway? Things like that. But yeah, definitely looking forward to, you know, playing more games in the future. Yeah, as stated, we're currently working on these 3 NES games. My specific goal is to get those 3 beaten before mid to late March, because then I intend to get back to Hollow Knight and achieve a better ending and a higher percentage of completion. Whatever that percentage may be, I'm not 100% sure yet. So yeah, we're going to go back to Hollow Knight and enjoy that a little bit more. And after that, the door is wide open for other games to play. There's a lot of things that I want to play, and only so much time to play them in. But yeah, I do want to pick up another sort of longer term game project in the not too distant future. Because yeah, we've had sort of a season of playing very short games, or relatively short games. Very much intentional after playing through Ni no Kuni, which was, yeah, even at this point, is about half my streaming career has been spent playing one playthrough of Ni no Kuni, which more so speaks to the shortness of my streaming career than it does to the length of Ni no Kuni, because it's not a super long RPG or anything. But yeah, so more game projects that will take a long time are to come, because that is something that I feel like that's sort of a thing that I really like, getting very deep into something and playing it for a long time, and you know, very much getting into the story, getting into the mechanics and things like that. But yeah, I can't say with any great certainty what our next big project will be, because I don't anticipate the Hollow Knight, we're not even going to do a full new playthrough, I don't think. We're probably just going to resume like our last save and just sort of go around and get some stuff done. But, yeah. I don't know what our next big project is, but I, for one, am very excited for it. Whatever I decide it might be. And so, yeah, I guess we do need to think about, other sort of non-game projects. We've got other goals and stuff. I've gotten a little bit sidetracked in my VOD goals. Unfortunately, I've sort of had to move the goalposts a little bit to be closer to me, to be totally honest, to achieve a result that I am satisfied with. Because, yeah, my original goal was to get, like, all of the videos that needed to be edited so that they could be re-uploaded. And, I wanted that to be done by the end of this month, and none of those are done. I haven't even started on any of them, other than watching through 2 of them to see what needs to be edited and when. And, there's still a lot of VODs that need to go up on the channel. We're behind on that pretty severely. The most we've ever been behind at this point, just due to personal life, business, and stuff. So, it's I don't know. Definitely need to focus on other things too as well. Man, I feel like that's a little bit of a downer, but when I do want to, I want to be honest with myself. I set goals and I really kind of didn't achieve them. I set a goal and I kind of didn't achieve it. And, maybe the goal was a little bit too ambitious. It probably was too ambitious, but given my lack of knowledge of video editing, yeah, the goal may have been a little bit ambitious to get all those videos edited and whatnot. Yeah, little ambitious. Thank you very much, Sheps. Yes, it was a little bit, I bit off a little bit more than I could comfortably chew. But that just gives us a better idea of what we can handle. So we're going to focus on, probably sort of smaller goals, more regular goals maybe. Because yeah, we do still have the goal of, get all the placeholder assets replaced by the end of next month. Given that we sort of had to, given the current state, the state of this month's goal and how it's, we're like a few days out before the end of this month, and we have made almost no progress on that goal. We've made a little bit of progress. I'm not going to beat myself up too much because I've made about half the progress that I wanted to make on VODs that aren't the VODs that needed to be edited. I haven't made any progress on any of the VODs that needed to be edited. So those are, yeah, that is probably more than half of the work that needs to be done, is editing those to make them watchable. But, yeah, I want to be honest with myself and with everyone that, we set these goals and we didn't quite achieve them. Some of it was due to being busy. Some of it was just due to sort of giving myself a big goal, sort of impulsively, and then thinking, I don't know actually how I'm going to do this, and just sort of being a bit nervous to start it. Which is something that we need to work on, that I need to work on for the future, is, being more consistent with making progress. And probably, again, with setting smaller, shorter term goals. Because big, nebulous goals have never been something that I've been able to really deal with. Like, you set a specific deadline in front of me and just say, this big, broad thing needs to be done by this time. And yeah, it's hard for me to focus on something like that's out in the distance. And this was like something that I sort of decided that I wanted to do like a long time ago, and just never had a specific goal in mind as to how to achieve it. A specific sort of, not goal, but like, because the goal was there, but the way that I was achieving the goal, I didn't have a clear path to achieving the goal. Is the issue. So, yeah. Again, I do have a goal, a big major goal, which is to sort of have a cool, like, official, like, start to the real, or some measure of real, streaming in or at least, I want to make everything very presentable and nice for the anniversary, when I will debut properly with lore and everything, is the plan. And I'm pretty sure I've talked about this before. I hope this isn't all just coming out of nowhere. But because I'm pretty sure I talked about this before. But yeah, like for the anniversary, I wanted to have a sort of event, and I want this place to look a little bit nicer, in short, before that event. And yeah, but honestly, probably I'm pinning a little bit too much expectation on, specific events and specific times for, like, achieving goals. Because it's not really about, like, this day, or like, this needs to be done by this day, or on this day, or whatever. It's about, like, day-to-day progress. Like, I was deciding, this will be done by this time, but then I wasn't, like, deciding each day to go in and say, okay, we're going to take this step, and the next day we're going to take that step, and so on and so forth. But yeah, I had a destination in mind, but, I didn't have, I didn't know, I knew where I wanted to go, but I didn't know how to get there. And that's still pretty true in a lot of things. So that is something that I need to work on. But yeah, anyway, that's enough of that for right now. It is time to wrap things up, and wrap things up with a raid, and head off to handle whatever we decide to handle for the rest of the night, whether that's working on VODs or hanging out and watching anime. But yes, so as per usual, if anyone has any raid suggestions, I would be glad to hear them. Take a quick sip. Sip. Should also stretch a little bit. I didn't stretch much this stream. I usually stretch during downtime in games, but yeah, not much downtime playing Conquer the Shadow World. It's a game where you can very much keep up the momentum throughout just sort of the whole thing, really. Yeah, Alabastian VT was on a long hiatus and is finally back. Alright. But yeah, sounds good to me if that is a suggestion. If you have any other suggestions, I would also be glad to hear them, and if anyone else does. Yeah, currently just chatting. Gotcha. Alright. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, talking about Arby's burgers. When was the last time I ate at an Arby's? I have eaten at Arby's before, I'm confident. I don't remember when I have. Have I ever had a burger from Arby's? I don't think I have, actually. I've eaten other things from Arby's. What have I eaten from Arby's? Chicken, probably. I don't eat fast food very much. I don't like it. Yeah, there's also Faye. Yeah, Hunt Showdown. You know, let's flip a coin. Let's flip a coin. I don't have a coin on hand, actually, but let's roll a die. Tells you a lot about my hobbies that I don't have a coin on hand, but I do have dice on hand, multiple dice on hand. So, heads, we will go and we'll visit Hollow Bastion, which in this case would be, I guess, an even number. And tails, an odd number, we'll go and see Faye. Alright, it is a 4, so that's heads. Oops. Alright, Hollow Bastion VT. Yeah, we've definitely rated Hollow Bastion before. But I think, I don't know, because yeah, I guess, yeah, you said that they were on a hiatus. I guess they must have gone on hiatus relatively. Yeah, I definitely, I know I have before. I remember seeing this person at one point. I don't remember when it was. I feel like it must have been relatively soon to whenever they started taking a hiatus, because I remember I saw like the one stream of theirs that I rated them on, and then I didn't see them again for a long time. So I think, yeah, it must have been relatively shortly before they went on hiatus. That, or I just didn't happen to, they just happened to be online at times when I wasn't online for a good long time. But yeah, anyway, let's do that raid there, huh? Ugh, I inflected that really oddly, but you know, you get the idea. Anyway, schedule. So today we have conquered the Shadow World. We have in fact conquered the Shadow World. We did it. Tomorrow, we're not going to be doing Legend of Zelda because we have not beaten that game. We have not beaten Super Mario Bros. Yet. Instead, we'll be playing Super Mario Bros. Because we need to beat Super Mario Bros. Then, once we have done that, we'll play The Legend of Zelda. And then once we have beaten The Legend of Zelda, we'll play Metroid. And then, whether or not we have done any or all of those by the time that mid-March rolls around, we will be beginning Hollow Knight once again. So yes, let's see. That should be most of the thoughts that needed to be aired at this point. So, schedule is done for now. Yeah, we will begin working on next week's schedule in the not too distant future. But before that, we will go on a raid. The customary raid message is, of course, as always, we have arrived. So yes, let's see. Anything else to be said? I don't think so. So, thank you all for being here tonight. I hope that you have had a fine night. I hope that you'll continue to have a fine night, and every night, and I hope that you'll be well until the next time I see you. So, let us get this raid underway, and farewell.
Here is a soup. So in that soup there is shredded chicken. There is heavy whipping cream. There's obviously a corn.